Hello my friends and welcome. Russia still tries to perform the attack operations, this time somewhere over here in Luhansk Oblast. This time they used the small groups of tanks plus infantry, and today they try to expand this area near to Novoselivsk, but our guys using the FPV drones were able to eliminate the Russian T-90 and T-72 tanks. Let's watch some photos. So this is the result of the Russian attack attempt. One of the T-72, I wonder which one, probably this one, and T-90 totally demolished. This is the camera from the different angle, and as you can see, this is the T-90 Russian best tank. Well, honestly, I think that they were stopped by mines because of the destruction of the caterpillars and the wheels. And later the FPV drones finished the job eliminating those tanks. By the way, Russia is out of the tools to finish the Ukrainian tanks usually. So most of the Leopard 2 tanks and Bradleys that were damaged during the fight are being evacuated by Ukrainian army and now on repair. This is the video from the FPV drone. As you can see, this tank is moving. So my idea that this tank got damages by mines is wrong, because definitely there is the movement of the tank and even some dust behind. Maybe the other tank came to help to this T-90, but also was demolished by the FPV drones. And this is the result from the other drone camera. I think this is the DJI drone flying, and it has the great zoom. Here you see fantastic drones for surveillance operations. The Ukrainian armed forces were very successful in targeting the Russian ammunition depots and supply lines. One of the biggest Russian fuel facilities in Donetsk Oblast was targeted. It was used to supply their tanks and other armored vehicles with fuel, and now it is gone. That makes logistics for Russia in Donetsk Oblast terrible. And this is what is left from the Russian fuel facility. Lots of the fuel trucks and fuel tanks are gone. Lots and lots of gallons and tons of fuel that is crucial for the Russian logistics. The Russian logistics itself is not so good, but here it is disaster for them. The Ukrainian Special Service publishes the video filmed from the Pskov attack. So this video was filmed exactly from the drone. This is the Ilyushin-76 transport airplane that is used by the Russian paratroopers, and as you can see, it was attacked by the drone with huge blast. So this is one of the airplanes. You may see the spot over here and over here. So it is one parking stand, and here you see another parking stand. This airplane got even warm engines from what you can see on this camera. And drone flies, it targets the airplane in different part, as you can see, and later on this airplane catches fire. As you can see from the stand, it's the different one, and totally it was reported that 4 of the airplanes got crucial damages, 2 completely destroyed by fire and 2 with heavy damages that will not allow those airplanes to fly any longer, and 2 of the airplanes got the damages that could be repaired, so totally 6. This map shows the territories that were liberated. As it was reported, Ukrainian army was able to free 250 square kilometers of the ground, which is quite a big area, I might say. So the main battle is ongoing near to Robotine, and the secondary vector is over here near to Urozhaine. But finally, I think that the main strike of Ukraine is somewhere over here, directly towards Melitopol. According to the Russian military bloggers, their defense starts to collapse over there. For the last months, Russia has some crucial losses that cost their economy $1.2 billion. We are speaking about 2 completely destroyed Tupolev Tu-22M3. This one is definitely expensive, almost $300 million, and also, moreover, it is not renewable. One S-400 air defense system was destroyed in Crimea. It is the state-of-art Russian technology. They also call it the Triumph. What is interesting that it was destroyed by missile, and this system is used to shut down the missiles, and it was filmed from the drone camera, so this system is not very effective. Very expensive Predel E radar. It was close to S-400 air defense, and it's not cheap, as you can see. plus 4 of the Russian airplanes, which are used as the main transport tool for the Russian VDV paratroopers, the 76th Regiment that is now fighting not far away from Robotyne. 4 of the airplanes confirmed to be lost, and that brings lots of the devastation to the Russian army. The most of those losses were caused by the very cheap drones. And according to Ukrainian intelligence officials, the attacks on Tupolev strategic bombers and Ilyushin-76 in Pskov were conducted from the Russian territory. Here we can see the Azov Brigade with the Max Pro American vehicle that was supplied to Ukraine. Russia doesn't have those kind of the vehicles in their army. They have Tigers, but those are twice smaller and they do not have the special protection against mines. This vehicle has the protection, especially on the back. As for the forward part, there is the separation of the engine compartment and the forward wheels are pushed a little forward with this construction, so if it rolls over the mine, the forward part of the truck just explodes, but the main safe compartment continue to stay secure. So something like that. The forward part of the vehicle, as you can see, is completely devastated, but this armor part is still secured and the crew survived together with the infantry. This turret was presented by Australian company, the Electro Optics Systems. It consists from the 30mm automatic cannon with aiming equipment plus the Stinger air defense system. That was also modernized and it is must-have for Ukraine nowadays, especially at the edge of the front lines. Then Russia is using their K-52 attack helicopters plus drones. This is the first picture of M7 Bradley in Ukraine. Instead of the TOW missiles, this one has the special aiming equipment that helps to aim towards the target and identify it for the range up to 20 kilometers. It may light up the targets and transfer the information for artillerists, and they will hit towards the enemy units. Nice. Ukraine continued to use the Mi-8 helicopters. As you can see, they fire the uncontrolled missiles from the very low altitude. And the next one, the same. Well, the precision is not so good, but it may devastate the Russian positions in some vast area. Budanov gave a very big interview today in which he said that maybe Russia will have the break after this war for around 10 years, but after it will restart the war in Ukraine, unfortunately. He said that Ukraine should be prepared for that. Actually, I think that there could be even some sort of the ceasefire temporary for a few years, like it was with Minsk agreement after Russia took Crimea and the part of the Donbass. I think that we shouldn't allow it to happen again. But based on the Ukrainian resources, based on the weaponry that we have, and based on the scale of this war, it is definitely not enough to continue this war forever, and our allies are trying to push Ukraine, some of our allies, for some sort of the agreement with Russia. But in that case, for sure, Russia will restart this war after a few years. It's 100%. Maybe I should film more detailed review about this peace agreement scenario that is not excluded in Ukraine. Alright, Ukraine will obtain first 10 Abrams tanks this month, and they will be used to penetrate the other lines of the Russian defense on the south. The training of all of our soldiers on Abrams was completed in Germany. Plus, the United States of America agreed to transfer the depleted uranium shells for those Abrams tanks, which is awesome. By the way, before this decision was agreed by the UK Defense Ministry, and we have those shells already, but for Challenger 2 tanks. Alright, about the front lines, we have the update with those pictures showing that Russian vehicles and tanks were demolished on the south near to Novoprokopivka. Russia sent the new forces, but it seems like Ukraine continued to push and push successfully. Russia is still capable to hold our forces away from Novoprokopivka, but I think it is temporary. Ukraine continued to shell the Russian positions in that village, and soon they're gonna enter with infantry. The biggest problem for the Russian army is that they're losing lots of the officers in this war. They are out of the good communication tools, so sometimes they have to go just on the front to fight with their soldiers. To manage the situation manually, it's the big downside for the Russian army. For Ukraine, it's not like that. However, our officers also participate in fighting. But for Russia, heavy losses. The Belarus Border Control reports that the Polish Mi-24 crossed the border with that country. They even show the helicopter, and this is the border between two of the countries. Well, it looks like that helicopter definitely crossed the border. A very rare video filmed from the Ukrainian drone. It was intercepted by the Russian attack helicopter Mi-28. The helicopter fired towards the drone several times but missed and went away. Later on, this drone returned to the Ukrainian base. It means that the Russian helicopter has something wrong with the aiming equipment. Yes, mighty Russia. Here are more satellite images from the kaboomed Ilyushin-76 airplanes. As you can see, Russia still has many of those in Pskov airfield, and it's time to kaboom them too. Kadyrov promised to pay back for United States and allies for applying sanctions on his mother. He said that his mother has nothing to do with politics, and for that he will revenge. How? We don't know. Well, maybe with evil bees, because I think that his face was bitten by some sort of the bees. Interesting, but India starts to buy much less oil from Russia compared to the beginning of the year, where we see the huge surge in that parameter for India. Now they purchase more from Saudi Arabia. Also, Iran starts to supply more oil for China, so China mostly switched to the Iranian oil rather than the Russian one. The main mediator of that stuff is the United States of America. They agreed with Iran, and probably they agreed with India. The aim is to drop the Russian economy even further down. This scenario is very similar to what was done to the Soviet Union, the economy of which was very dependent on the oil prices, so the Russians won. But this situation for Russian economy should be for a very long time, for years, to cause its collapse. Russia wants to secure its own territory near Moscow, I think, so they have started to move the air defense systems like S-300 from the far east towards the European part of the Russian Federation. It shows that Russia is in lack of the crucial equipment needed to defend their skies. My friends, don't forget to press the like to this video, and also if you want to support my job, there will be some of the links in the video description just below. Thank you so much for your awesome support. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.